I'm Bridget Phetasy, and this is your dumpster fire for the weeks of July 26th to August 8th.
And the unicorns dance while the world burns, world burns.
World burns.
Troll in Chief. Trump has trouble with some words in various press briefings.
When they gaze upon Yosemites.
For the record, that's the way I say it, as a joke, because I want people to think I'm a moron. It's 4D chess, Maggie, just like Trump.
It's not 4D chess. He's just a moron. You're always giving him so much credit.
No, it's 4D chess. He's doing this to troll us all and make us think that he is a moron. Whatever, it's just another thing Trump and I have in common.
Yet another thing.
And then he said Thailand.
Uh-huh.
Shifting production to Thailand.
Thailand is also what they called Epstein's Island, so I can understand how that would have been confusing. Because I'm pretty sure Trump has been to one, and he's never been to Thailand.
Actually, Trump has been to Thailand.
I know. We're going to get it. Listen up, you actually boys. I know that Trump has allegedly never been to Epstein's Island, and I'm sure he probably has been to Thailand and opened some factory there or something. But sometimes a joke is funnier when you don't do any research. Okay?
That's our motto here at Phetasy.
A joke is always funnier when you don't do any research. If the world wasn't burning and children weren't being developmentally stunted because they're locked in their homes and we're about to hit a depression and homelessness or houselessness is about to hit levels that are depression era and people weren't literally driving themselves insane by spending all day on the internet, this would be hilarious. Except it's not hilarious because this guy's actually our president and doesn't know how to pronounce the word of a country.
I know.
Actually, he corrected himself. I know he corrected himself.
Yeah, he corrected himself, but for me, that just means he's probably never seen the word Thailand in print before. You know, like
he doesn't read very much.
Right, exactly.
He prides himself on not reading.
He's never seen it actually written down, so he knows the name Thailand. He's heard that before, but when he saw it in print, he was like, Thailand. Oh, wait, that's wrong. Thailand
And Vietnam.
Then Trump says Biden will hurt God.
No religion, no anything. Hurt the Bible, hurt God. He's against God, he's against guns.
This just proves Trump knows absolutely nothing about the Holy Spirit. And after the podcast I've done this week, I have been injected with the Holy Spirit. I know a thing or two about the Holy Spirit now. And let me tell you, it's too big and too powerful to be hurt by little old Biden. Because if he really had Jesus Christ as his Lord and Savior in his life, Trump, if he really believed that, he would know that God is too big to be hurt by Biden. And basically, in him saying that, it's sacrilege. Sacrilege! I will not stand for this. It's blasphemy.
All right.
He's going to burn in a fiery hell.
I thought you were going to say in a dumpster fire.
We're going to be roasting in an eternal dumpster fire.
Jesus Christ. All of a sudden we become like an evangelical show.
I would love that. I would love to go full Alex Jones.
Righteous gemstones?
Yeah, righteous gemstones. It would be such a fun just role to play.
Wow.
Jesus will save my life. Jesus will save you from your strife. Everyone. Jesus will save.
I don't know that one.
It's an original.
Can't get down with Jesus, huh, Maggie? He saved you from your sins and an eternal roasting and a dumpster hellfire.
It's all right. Jesus and I are cool.
Please shop our store for Phetasy holy water.
Moving on to dumpster fire for president. Joe Biden tries to explain his refusal on taking a mental fitness test.
Yes, and then Joe Biden proceeded to fail a mental fitness test while discussing his refusal to take a mental fitness test. It was quite something to behold. It was one for the records that we'll never remember or forget or even care about because nothing matters anymore.
I am very willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental
my physical as well as my mental fitness.
We all know why Biden's shying away from taking a mental fitness test. He proves it every time he opens his mouth. It makes me curdle on the inside.
And then Biden and the incredibly diverse Latino community.
Unlike the African American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community with incredibly different attitudes about different things.
We're days away from Biden using Negro in a virtual roundtable, aren't we? Like forgetting where he is. It's 1937, right? You can still say those things. I cannot believe that these are our options. I can't get my mind around it. I can't believe it. We lose no matter who wins this election. America loses. If Trump wins, America burns. If Trump loses, America burns. Either way, you should be preparing for America to burn. Another uplifting message and a super awesome embroidered pillow we'll have coming to our Phetasy store soon. Know what you're getting into and get guns and ammo. We need to get sponsored by Gold and Guns and Ammo. I'm Alex Jones.
Alexandra Jones.
I'm the female
Zandria Jones.
Jesus will save your life.
Then in dumpster diving.
What's next in the dumpster?
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Garcetti threatens to turn off water and power for people throwing parties.
This is what petty tyranny looks like. There's no tyranny like petty tyranny. I don't really know where this ends. It's crazy that you can just be like, well, we're going to shut off your water and power because you're disobeying the rules. Next, it's going to be because of something you tweeted. You're going to be getting a knock on the door and it's going to be like, this is the Department of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. You have been reported for 11 microaggressions. And you're like, gosh, what did I do? That will be 12. Please report to the Council of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion immediately. Your water and power will be shut off for 48 hours. And it's going to be some drone clone, like a worker who's just like a brainwashed wokester in the Great Awakening. This is the dark Night of the Soul and the Great Awakening.
And then
The
they're
musical.
like, ching. Actually, that's 13 because you have now been accused of a thought crime.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I'm like, I'm going to fucking kill this clone. And it's like, ching, 13 microaggressions. And now, one thought crime. Please report immediately to the Department of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion.
For brain rewiring.
Sweet dreams.
In San Francisco, a hotel room that was used as a city COVID-19 shelter, police found a meth lab. Also, California ups early inmate release amid objections. Up to 17,600 prisoners will be released due to COVID concerns.
Newsom and Garcetti have f***ed California up the ass with their draconian power grab. Fuck these assholes. All of our leaders have failed us. Fuck these assholes. Fuck them. They went to private schools, they have mansions, and now they have all these working class people cleaning up after peaceful rioters and persons experiencing houselessness. And they're not even allowed to use the adjective homeless while they clean this shit up from the meth labs and the porta potties because it's politically incorrect. So that gets really funny too when you actually start reading. Like if you have to use it twice in a sentence, it gets hilarious because they'll say, persons experiencing houselessness need to report to persons experiencing houselessness shelters. Our leaders and the woke activists are more concerned with the politically correct way to talk about people who are living on the streets than the fact that this is a problem that is exponentially increasing and no solutions are happening at all. In fact, it seems like whatever they're doing is actually making it worse. Meanwhile, we're letting out 17,000 criminals, some of whom are very violent, some of whom probably just dealt drugs. We don't care about them, right?
It's true.
And by the way, where are the feminists who decry rape culture all day long? Where are they when we're letting these violent people out? You're talking about rape culture being a very serious thing. It is. You should give a shit if someone who raped someone gets let out onto the streets because they're not dangerous anymore.
No, because they might catch COVID in prison.
And you're not worried about this? We're letting all of these criminals out into a state that has shut down, has no jobs. They have no plan for what to do with them, how to reassimilate them into society. They have killed the gig economy because of AB5. You've disarmed the population, and now you're defunding the police. And you're wondering why people are leaving in droves. Anyone with any kind of foresight or brain. California has eaten the middle class, created some of the greatest wealth inequality, and now it's basically just going to be people experiencing houselessness, and criminals. And then, because everybody's leaving, these fucks want to try and retroactively increase the income tax. There's a bill trying to get this done because they fucked up their state and can't run it. And now they're trying to steal from the rich people who are rightfully taking their industry, their creativity, and their money elsewhere into states that know how to handle their shit. This is stealing. It's literally stealing. They're criminals. Yeah. This whole state is going to be just criminals and people experiencing houselessness. And by the way, Californians who are leaving California, why don't you do a little 2 + 2 and not your crazy 2 + 2 = 5 math and figure out how to put together the people you're electing and the policies that you're fleeing, and don't go to other states and fuck them up. That is my 2 cents.
We need to rapidly change the location of our undisclosed location.
Yeah. I'm not long for this fucking commie port of hell.
Well, that's quite a mug you've got there, Bridget.
Speaking of which, capitalism always wins unless you're in California. BridgetPhetasy.com for merch.
Great plug.
Thanks.
And next, in Get Wrecked, China. Mysterious seeds arrived from China. Residents in all 50 states have reported receiving unsolicited packages of suspicious seeds.
This is actually crazy, and I feel like it should be getting more news than it is. But because the world is a burning dumpster fire, nothing really gets the news that it deserves. They're warning people not to plant these things because they're worried it's going to be some invasive Chinese species.
Doyle Crenshaw from Boonville got these strange seeds in the mail 2 months ago. He says curiosity took over, and he planted them.
It's crazy. I mean, why are we all getting seeds from China? Meanwhile, China's like waging biological warfare on America, and we're like, look at these seeds, man. What the hell?
About every 2 weeks, I'd come by and put Miracle Grow on them.
I bet it's some awesome Chinese weed, man. Someone's going to plant them, and Chinese super soldiers, that's really hard to say, are going to spring out of the capsules like those magic grow capsules we had when we were kids, and they're going to grow up, and they figured out how to clone soldiers and turn them into little seed pods.
Yeah, this is the Chinese invasion of America.
I am Alex Jones.
It starts with mysterious
The Chinese
seeds.
are going to send these seeds, and Chinese super soldiers are going to spring out of them like those magic grow capsules when you were kids. All you got to do is water them, and then they're full-grown soldiers right in your backyard. They're coming for you. They're coming for you. Get wrecked, China.
Wait until that mug arrives.
Speaking of touch my bells and buttons. I almost burped.
She burps.
I should have just let it right out into the mic. Touch my bells and... I'm a lady. Touch my bells and buttons. We brought the cleavage back for you ungrateful people who couldn't handle 1 week without cleavage.
Proof we're living in a simulation. Baboons carrying knives and chainsaws seen in a safari park. Apparently, they were being armed by visitors to the park for a laugh.
Oh, I guarantee it was the Australians. I promise you it was the Australians arming these bamboos. Bamboos.
Baboons.
I guarantee it was the Aussies arming the baboons. I promise you.
You're right.
I know a lot of Aussies, and that sounds like something they would exactly do right before they took a bunch of ketamine and got into a fist fight and almost died at the ocean's edge.
Once again, an oddly specific example, Bridget. And then video of chimpanzees flying a drone.
I mean, what's it going to take? We've made movies about monkeys and robots taking over our species, and yet we refuse to heed our own warnings. It's mind-boggling to me. It's called a self-fulfilling prophecy, people.
And we learned nothing from the please.
You know what? Drones aren't that easy to fly either. I tried flying one and I crashed it into the sea in Maui, and it was not very good for me or the drone or the person who owned the drone.
You crashed it into the sea.
Fucking chimpanzees can fly these things, and I'm too dumb to fly a drone. They're confusing.
Yet another thing you and Trump have in common.
I would definitely stare at the sun in an eclipse, too. Someday I will just embrace my right-wing conspiratorial nature. And that is when capitalism... I've got to protect myself from the 5G bats. I feel like I'm channeling Alex Jones.
You really are. Never woke enough. Rutgers University declares proper English grammar racist and pledges to incorporate critical grammar into the program.
I'm sorry, I'm stretching my neck and also rolling my eyes. Diversity, equity, inclusion. Once you get an anti-racism department, you can't get rid of it either.
No, you can't.
You know? No one
really back yourself into a corner.
Yeah, no one's going back from that. And why do we even need English teachers anymore if grammar doesn't matter? And talk about, again, the soft bigotry of low expectations. That seems pretty fucking racist to me. That you're like, oh, you poor people of color can't learn grammar, so we're just going to completely abolish grammar. Hashtag abolish grammar.
I mean, when you learn a language, you have to learn the rules.
Any language.
I had to learn the masculine and feminine for French. You know, it's just one of those things.
It's no longer a race to the bottom. We're just in a free fall with no parachute. And I'm telling you, you need to buy some gold and find Jesus.
All right. And then surfing is racist.
Everything is racist. Can we just agree that everything is racist so that we can move on?
Seriously.
Everything is racist, therefore nothing is racist. And there, I fixed racism.
Can we all start to heal now?
Save the world with Jesus. Find him in your heart. We can defeat racism if you just let Jesus in your heart. This is a way to start. That was the choir.
Yes, I got that. I understood.
I don't even know what to say about surfing. Everything's racist.
Well, it's just the title of this article, too. California surfing has a serious diversity problem.
It diminishes the word, though, to call everything, you know, I'm like, I can't surf, therefore the ocean is sexist. Learn to code.
We need more women in STEM.
And then in Capitalism Always Wins...
Don't look at my ugly nails. They look like shit.
But buy the mug.
They're quarantine nails.
To support capitalism.
I'm not going into some back alley for a manicure.
Capitalism always wins. All right. Trader Joe's changes course on branding, stands up to cancel culture.
Whimsy for the win. Whimsy won, guys. Trader Joe's statement was basically like, our customers like this and get it, and they're still buying it. Until they stop buying it, we're going to keep selling it and go fuck yourselves.
Right.
Because they're German.
Yep.
It's a German company. Go fuck yourselves. That was their statement. Canceled. Canceled. Save Jesus into your heart. Into your heart is Jesus.
Oh my God. She's been fully converted, folks. They're trying to cancel Ellen.
Oh my gosh. Still.
Yeah.
Haven't they been trying to cancel Ellen since quarantine started?
Since like November.
Listen up, idiots. If you want a red pill, every single housewife in middle America, and pave the way for Emperor Trump, be my guest and try and get rid of their precious Ellen, you absolute morons. Morons. Morons.
They just like to watch Ellen dance. Don't take that away from them.
Don't take away their Ellen in this time of need.
And in a moment of unlevity.
Instead of the BDE award this week, we have the RIP, and it is for all of the people who tragically lost their lives in Beirut in the explosion that was completely avertible. And another situation where leaders failed their population. Honestly, we're over here fighting about grammar. We just are so American-centric in our news. And there was so much video of it. There were so many things going on and different angles, and it was terrifying. But the one that really went viral and stuck out was that the bride who was just getting, I think it was a drone actually taking footage of her.
Oh, yeah.
And then the explosion happened, and it just goes to show you how everything can change in 1 second. You can be in your wedding dress and then something tragic happens, and not to take any of this for granted, and to wake up and be grateful every day that you woke up. Our thoughts are with the people in Lebanon, and our heart goes out to anyone who lost anyone and got injured. And yeah, I'll leave it at that.
In lighter news, beyond parody, 3 men were rescued from a Pacific island after writing SOS in the sand.
I was like, this happens in real life? This is actually real. That I thought that was just something you saw in movies, or it was something that you read in books. But I read that. I'm like, that actually works. I can't believe it actually works. This was as shocking as when I described ankle biter wasn't just a descriptor for a small child or animal. And it's actually a real thing when I had Jasper literally biting my ankles following me around last night. I'm like, oh, ankle biter is a real thing. Just like it's writing SOS in the sand and getting rescued, apparently. Do-do-do!
What is happening? I can't even get through this headline without laughing. A queer indigenous professor who died of COVID-19 didn't actually exist.
It doesn't even need jokes. The whole article reads like satire. I thought it was like a Babylon Bee article. That's the most 2020 headline of the year. And we keep saying this every episode. This is the most 2020 headline of the year. And then it tops itself. The best part of that whole article were all the quotes from people who knew the professor and were tweeting their condolences.
Yeah, one of them was, my friend, sciencing by, passed away yesterday from complications after COVID-19. After a brutal 4-month recovery period, she was not expendable. She was not an acceptable cost of doing business.
Turns out she was expendable because she never existed.
And then, wow, Trump's new favorite COVID doctor believes sexual visitations by demons and alien DNA are at the root of Americans' common health concerns.
A real headline.
Yeah.
From our beloved leader, dear leader Trump. He believes witch doctors. Our president takes advice from a witch doctor.
I mean, is that not true?
Sam! Dumpster fire is a time capsule for future generations living in dark ages, wondering what happened to our society. If you find this, you will know exactly what happened. The President of the United States takes advice from a witch doctor.
Yep. They'll be like, they had it all. What happened? And then someone will stumble across dumpster fire.
Yeah, and then in the comments, it'll be people being, actually, she's not a witch doctor. And they'll be like, this is what happened.
She believes in the saving of Jesus Christ.
The actually guys won the war.
Yep.
All together, Jesus will save my life. See? I've got it. I've got what it takes to be a true cult leader. Didn't she say that Facebook would be shut down?
Yeah, that God would shut down Facebook if her account wasn't reinstated.
Guess what, lady? Your account's still not reinstated and Facebook is still operational. And you know what that means? God doesn't love you.
Ooh.
Burn!
Ooh, she's going to need some.
She's going to need some butter for her burns. I don't think it's good to put butter on
Dumpster fire burns. She got burned in the heat of the dumpster fire.
She's going to be feeling that one when she goes to sleep. Wait until you guys see the picture of me that will change the way you view me forever.
Well, wait until they see the video of whatever the hell's going on next.
Oh, boy.
The human centipede thing. Like, what the hell is this?
We actually have no idea what's happening here. And
we didn't want to look it up or research it at all.
We didn't want to investigate because we thought it'd be more interesting to make up our own story about it. But I can't even come up with a story about what the fuck is going on in this video. It's just people running around in circles with their hands in each other's butts.
Naked.
Naked.
It's so weird.
It's
so
the human
weird.
centipede. Maybe it's supposed to be representative of the Ouroboros. The link is in the description below.
And finally, in Breaking Bridget. A screening of Kindergarten Cop gets canceled after one woman complains it glorifies brutality against kindergarten.
Okay. Again, what's funnier than that headline? No joke we make is going to be funnier than that we live in this world where these headlines are written. We need to stop giving these plebes. It was one woman, not even a blue check.
I love how you're outraged about the fact.
How does this one non-blue checked plebe have the power to stop this movie from playing? It was a sold-out show.
Uh-huh.
We need to stop giving so much power to these plebes with no blue checks. And even some blue checks. I still get power, but none of the other people do.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
See, this is how we do it when you're in a cult / dictatorship. Go to Phetasy.com. Our cult is lovely. How can a plebe with no blue check have that much power?
Even when she won, she still wasn't satisfied and wanted a better apology from the people who were hosting the event.
I'd tell that lady that we should have some brutality against non-blue checks with big mouths and a lack of gratitude around here.
Seriously.
You should be happy you even got noticed. All of us have a small tyrant waiting to have water poured on it to grow and bloom into a Chinese super soldier.
A seed in our heart.
And it's not Jesus. It's the Chinese spyware. You're all going to be brainwashed by these seeds. Any other conspiracy theories I can start today? You're going to be brainwashed by these seeds that they're sending us. She compared Kindergarten Cop to Birth of a Nation and Gone with the Wind. But Birth of a Nation? Come on.
It's just giving Kindergarten Cop a little too much credit.
That's giving Kindergarten Cop way too much credit. Jeez, poor Arnold.
Oh, God. All right.
We're done.
And then
We made it.
We have some fun stuff in The Internet is Glorious.
What is your name? Tony! Fuck you, Tony! What's your name? Ezekiel! Fuck you, Ezekiel!
And then in Phetasy News.
Apparently I have jowls. It was upsetting to find out, and also a source of Maggie laughing for 35 minutes straight with no break.
You were laughing with me. We were both crying.
I did a interview with Thaddeus. He came on our podcast, which will be coming out soon on Walk-Ins Welcome. And then he sent me his version of it. And apparently it was the same version I had. I just didn't notice. And then I opened it and I was like, dear God. I was feeling pretty good about all my working out and myself and my body image because I've been doing all this freaking work with my therapist and journaling. And it was all undone.
By this one freeze frame moment.
Oh my God. I have a double chin and jowls. I look like my grandma if she was a meth addict and also slightly had a touch of the downs.
It looks like the before picture in any sort of like super workout video before I got sober, before
I quit meth, before I lost 200 pounds. This is why Walk-Ins Welcome isn't on video. Anyway, speaking of Walk-Ins Welcome, we had John Wood Jr. on 2 weeks ago. We had Joe List Comedy on, a very good friend of mine and comedian and hilarious. His YouTube comedy special dropped this week called I Hate Myself. I think anyone who enjoys this show will probably enjoy his comedy. It's also just a nice relief and break from politics, very observational and self-deprecating. So my kind of humor, perfect delivery. Joe's great. Follow him. I was on the Writer's Block podcast and checked that out, talking about writing and my process and kind of becoming, using social media effectively or not.
We got some emails. People answered our call for emails, so thank you.
And I'm going to read some. You can survive any shark attack by being better at shark fellatio than you are delicious. That was from Broken Barrow. Thank you, Broken Barrow. I'll remember that when I'm being murdered by a shark. Oh, I know what I need to do. Give this shark a blowjob. Sam, did you write that?
Oh, she's very tickled by it, though.
Sam wrote that, I feel like, just to see if you read it. What's an email? That was a Hot Tub Time Machine reference. Great joke. That was also Sam's joke. Love your show. Huge fan, even though I'm not a mom. We are huge with the moms. You'll be as big as Joe Rogan someday, and then I'll tell everyone I remember watching Bridget Phetasy back in the day. Sam's dad jokes, like what's an email, are friggin' hilarious, and Maggie's laugh is super addictive. Capitalism always wins. From Steve-O in Boston. That was a nice one.
Thanks, Steve-O.
Thanks, Steve-O.
Thanks,
We love you
Steve-O.
too. Maggie's laugh is addictive, and Sam's dad jokes are hilarious. And I will be as big as Joe Rogan.
That is her one goal in life.
Bigger. More powerful in the world. No, I'm just kidding. Calm down. Calm down, Bridget. I love you gals. Your insanity keeps me sane. Dusty S. I love this one. Dear Bridget, Cousin Maggie, and Sammy Flaps and Folds, and the dogs, of course. During this time of great awakening, the solace and comfort I find in the Every Other Week Dumpster Fire podcast is immeasurable. Whoever wrote Lizzie C., you are a great writer. We should hire you. I've been working from home for the past 4 months and wanted to thank y'all for the pure joy you give me and for making the podcast, taking a break from crippling quarantine-induced depression, the absolute fucking insanity of our world right now, and my own inner turmoil through a hangout with my favorite gals is what makes me look forward to getting up on a Monday morning. My favorite segments are definitely the BDE Awards and the Troll in Chief. I can't wait to see what kind of content the impending shit show of an election is going to produce. We can't either. Everyone in my very large Southern family is either obnoxiously progressive or hardcore Republican. I've never felt like I identify on either side of the spectrum, and I love that I can curl up with the podcast like I'm chilling with close friends and feel right at home in all the insanity. Your wit and intelligence is a beacon of light during this time. Keep it up. With well wishes for everyone's safety, health, inner peace, and making Bridget rich. Yours, Lizzie C.
Yay.
These are the kinds of emails when I read this, I actually cried because there are some days where I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? I'm an idiot. I'm just a jackass online. The world is burning and I'm laughing at it. And then I get an email like this and it really reminds me that there are other people out there who feel exactly like we do. And we're just all chilling together around the campfire that is the dumpster fire.
Yeah.
We're just all telling stories around a burning dumpster fire. Horror stories. And thank you for all your emails. You can email us at weeklydumpsterfire@gmail.com. You can find merch at bridgetphetasy.com, like this here mug. Join the Phetasy community. We have a great workout community with the women. So if you're a woman who loves this, $5 a month, you can join, and we're all doing Zoom workouts just to stay sane. We went from 3 days a week to 5 days a week. It's super fun. It's sisterhood. We also have the unedited version of this shit show available to you behind the paywall. We're launching it on Sundays before the edited version, so that's an even bigger perk. So join us in the community. It's keeping me sane, Phetasy.com. Thank you to Zen Pro Audio for this mic, and just also being super supportive. They are great. Thank you to Better Phetasy for the research. We could not do this without you, and compiling everything, particularly because I'm not online right now, ish. So if you have stuff you want to submit, email us, weeklydumpsterfire@gmail.com, or get in touch with Better Phetasy on Twitter @BetterPhetasy. Thank you to all the supporters and subscribers. We're in this together. We're gonna do this. We're gonna make it. Like, subscribe, comment, touch my bells and buttons, and shut that fucking dog up. Just kidding. I love your dog. Thank you, Maggie.
Thank you, Bridget.
Love you. So much
Love
fun.
you,
Thank
yes.
you, Sammy Flaps and Folds. We love you and can't do this without either of your many jobs. Follow Sam. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. If you don't, follow Maggie on Phetasy.com. She posts about once every 6 weeks.
But I am in there.
Lurking and jerking.
Thanks for blowing up my spot, Bridget.
That's what you get for that secondary picture that you posted in the Phetasy community of the ugliest picture of me.
You gave me permission to do that.
I'm not proud of that moment.
Those pictures. I cried myself to sleep.
I cried. I was crying. This has been your dumpster fire for the weeks of July 26th to August 8th. I'm Bridget Phetasy. Now make us rich. Not just me. Maybe they'll give us money if they feel bad for you guys. I'm Bridget Phetasy. Now make me rich.